All right, and welcome to Game 3 of the Australian Ultimate Championships here at beautiful Runaway Bay on the Gold Coast. We have got a cracker matchup between KAOS from Perth and Rogue Block from Sydney. So I expect a great game. Both teams haven't met yet this season, so this is a great chance for the West Coast stalwarts to meet one of the East Coast powerhouses. KAOS is starting on defense. And we see Rogue here coming out on offense, quickly moving it up the sideline to Georgie Ewan. Ewan going to Stetner, who reaches for Wentworth, but can't quite connect. There's a lot of representative talent on this Rogue team. It's almost embarrassing how many Aussie reps they've had and how many different campaigns they've been part of. As we see KAOS here on offense, waking it up through Murray Young. Centers to Rigby, who then can't quite find her intended receiver. And a quick turnover. Wentworth in the center. Another veteran of many a representative campaign. Over the top, Stetner cleans up the scraps. And finds, I believe that's more in the end zone. Coming out to a good start by Rogue. Rogue coming off the back of a big win this morning against Phoenix, 15-1. Looking to continue their success as they get ready to play some defense. See Sarah Hammer here set to pull. Sarah Hammer, a bit of a legend in the Sydney Frisbee community, having played on Wildcard and Frisky back in the day and helped found this Rogue club before moving to England. She's back in town for a little while and was an immediate pickup for this tournament. She's represented Australia playing with the Firetails in Sakai, Japan at the 2012 World Ultimate and Guts Championships. So she's got plenty of pedigree and experience. KAOS with the disc now. Struggling to find an option and Murray Young ends up forcing a pass forwards. And Rogue take advantage. Hammer attempts the swing but can't quite complete it. Was looking for Valancourt, but the wind gets underneath it a little bit and it floats up. The wind is blowing away from the camera and a little bit left to right. But if you've been sticking with us for the last couple of games, it's definitely lighter than it was last game. Or at least it is at the moment, so we'll see how that pans out. Lots of discussion here. Unfortunately, we don't have game advisors this game. Just trying to clarify what exactly it was that happened on the field. Laura Minescu, one of the captains of the Rogue team, now coming over to get involved and maybe provide another perspective. I think they're discussing a foul and whether the contact that happened between Murray Young and Valancourt, perhaps. was a foul. But look, let's be honest. I don't really know what happened. Murray Young brings it back in. Moving it quickly across the field and up the sideline. Big backhand from Delat, but it sails out of bounds. That was a nice look. Hammer wastes no time in picking back up. Bring it back in. Doesn't like the immediate swing. Doesn't like the upfield shot. Has Valancourt back. Chooses not to take it. Stall count must be getting high. Finds an outlet upfield. And that shot into the wind is very difficult. We've seen teams struggle with that earlier today. It's not easy. And Daub picks up. Upfield to Lansdale. Lansdale launches a backhand to the fat side. That's a nice look. Ooh. And it bounces out of the hands of Maria Smith. Not quite able to hold on to that one. It was a great opportunity and a great throw. Don't have any. I'm totally going to interview at some point. And Rogue taking full advantage. Sarah Hammer. Backhand to Brie Edgar, who finds Holly Valancourt in the end zone for the goal. Apologies, Molly Valancourt. And that's 2. Rogue out of the gates nice and quickly, nice and strong. This will be an opportunity for them to test their mental resilience, see if they can play hard a whole game and set their own standard for the quality. KAOS probably looking to make a couple of adjustments. Find a way through Rogue's stifling match defense, which has been very effective so far. Stetner ready to pull. Stetner recently announced as part of the Australian World Games squad, the Crocs, that'll head to Wrocław in Poland in July to compete at the World Games against the 5 other best ultimate frisbee nations in the world. KAOS now, moving it quickly. As Rogue come down in a defensive zone, look. Moving it very quickly, going over the top to Hoskins. Hoskins across to Taylor. Apologies, Rice. Rice centers to DeLuca. DeLuca back to Murray Young in the center. Dump and swing. Textbook stuff here to Rice. Through the hands of a lot of players. Murray Young doing a lot of work, but the goal line defensive stand by Rogue is enough. As Hammer looking for Stetner. Ends up throwing it to the front of the stack. Maybe a bit of a miscommunication there between the two. And Hewen with the disc now right on the end zone line. Looking for Taylor, but Stetner is up to the task. Gets a hand in it. And Grindley will pick up. And she immediately launches deep. That's a big shot. Ruiz manages to chase it down, showing off her impressive turn of pace. Dumps it back to Perkins. Perkins looking into the end zone. But Rigby up to the task. Murray Young fakes the big backhand. The cup holding her on this downward sideline. Goes over the cup with a bladey forehand. That's a nice grab from Rigby to Rice. But again, can't quite continue the nice flow. Grinley finds Perkins for yards. Perkins over the top of the defense. And over the top of DeLuca, who looked to get involved there. And ends up being quite a nice goal for Rogue. KAOS able to make them turn it a couple of times at that point. Put a bit more pressure on. KAOS is one of the longest standing clubs in the Australian women's scene. We're very lucky to have them regularly making the trip from our west coast over for the big competitions. They weren't able to make it this year for BCI, but they've made it over for Div 1 Nats, which is great to see. And they're definitely not short on representative talent either. As the pool comes down, looks like it'll be fielded by Kwa. And Rogue in their zone again. As Kwa walks up to the brick mark. She has Finch in the dump position. Works it through the hands to the far side to Daub. Back to Lansdale. Moving it quickly through the centre. Great hands by Daub. Snag one in the wind to Webb. Back to Daub. Webb cuts up line, but Daub doesn't want it. Finch to Daub to Webb to Daub. Nice quick handler movement within the cup. Haven't managed to find a way through it. Tries to find the outside in backhand to the end zone for the goal, but can't quite hit Smith. Ends up falling at her feet. KAOS will play defense. They have Rogue where they want him. On that downwind sideline, the wind is coming a bit left to right and away from the camera. And it's really picking up. But the throwers of Rogue are showing they're up to the task. Hammer to Moore, back to Hammer in the centre. Hammer launches. There'll be a bit of a pack grab of this one. As people coalesce underneath it. Kwa's up to the challenge. As Daub picks up, Kwa immediately gets it back. Lansdale back to Kwa. Lansdale again. Delat. Delat across field to Kwa. And Kwa eventually finds Delat in the end zone. That was great patience in those last 15 metres. They probably threw 15 or 20 throws to work it up that last few metres. Great composure and a great display of skill in wind like this, where often it's a bit blustery, it's changeable, it's difficult to get fully used to it because it's always changing. Sometimes the little throws can get caught in a gust and float over someone's head or not quite go to their intended target. So that's well done by KAOS to make it 3-1 and chalk their first one up on the board. And the pull goes up. It's picked up by Stettner. KAOS hustle down nice and quickly and get that zone on. That cup on, putting a lot of pressure on Rogue. Not giving them easy movement of the disc. Eventually they find a way through to Valancourt. Valancourt played it as part of the Australian under-19 women's team, Terra, in Wrocław last year at the World Junior Ultimate Championships. I was lucky enough to see her play there as she captained that team. Did a great job. And now we have a turnover as KAOS will pick up the disc. It'll be Hyun who restarts the play. They move it quickly through the center. The cup slowing them down, not at all. They're immediately reaching deep. Stettner's there, but it sails over her head. And Jade O'Callaghan cleans up the scraps. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that throw wasn't intended for her, but she'll be happy to haul it in nonetheless. As KAOS get a break back to take it to 3-2. Did I mention I love you? I should mention it on stream. I love you. No, I'm good. Thanks, bro. KAOS getting set to pull. The wind's starting to pick up again, as you can probably see on the flags on the far side of the field. This will be Lansdale with the pull. Rogue still having a bit of a chat about what they're going to do. Pretty sure they've got at least 4 or maybe 4 firetails on this line for Rogue, which is classic Rogue. An embarrassment of riches when it comes to experience. Latamados, also a member of that 2016 Terra team here, playing a key position as a handler. Stepped up from playing in the Rogue Div 2 team last year. Lacey Moore, a veteran of many a campaign, including as a croc in 2013 in Cali, Colombia. Latamados sneaks it through. Latamados' brother Alex was recently named as a reserve. On the Australian Crocs team for this year. A real powerhouse set of siblings in terms of ultimate frisbee. Now Moore really struggling to get it off. Eventually looks for Wentworth backwards. But the outstretched hand of Hoskins has other ideas, and it goes to ground. Looks like Dorr will pick it up with Kwa in the dump position. Kwa goes up line. Dorr goes to her. Kwa looking back. And Lacey Moore gets the disc straight back. Wow. Great hands by the number 7 shirt of Deborah Lee, who immediately shoots to the end zone and finds Helen Epstein. was an incredible grab. There, it was bobbled once, it hung, it looked like she didn't have position. She just snatched it away. And that makes it 4-2 for Rogue. Do we know if you want to come commentate? We've got a real treat for you now. We've got guest commentary from Nathan Stacey.
G'day everybody.
How's your day been so far, Nate?
Pretty good. If anyone wants an update from the men's side of the draw, Pillage just beat Plunder 13-11. It was a great game.
It's going good.
Alrighty, we got Rogue on defense, Rachel Grinley with the pull.
Okay. DeLuca picking it up and bringing it up to the brick mark. KAOS playing out of a horror. First time Rogue hasn't gone with the zone. And immediately over the head of Murray Young.
All right, Rachel Grinley picking up. Georgia Ewan with it. Backhand fake. Looking back to the center. Grinley with a quick pop. Big backhand fake. Needs to get it out of this sideline. Another big fake. All right, disc finally off that sideline. Off to Sophie Hardy in the middle. Flick around to Georgie Ewan. Back to the center to Grinley. So Rogue are getting an easy reset on that far sideline. But what they need to try and do is get to all this space on the this upwind side. And there we go. That's the pass that'll do it. Now got a lot of space out here. This is a much stronger position to be in. Over the top. And a goal.
And that's 5-2. That's pretty good. And the pull goes up from Stetner. Nathan is just taking his pants off next to me in the commentary booth, which is very exciting.
It was just track pants. I'm wearing shorts. So it'll be interesting to see from here onwards if Rogue will make some adjustments and try and pull away significantly. Now they've got a lead. Big shot from Sarah Hammer. Knocked away. So KAOS, like as most of the Perth teams, haven't actually been to, I think, any lead-up tournaments at all. So no teams have been able to get footage of them to study in the lead-up to nationals, which makes it hard to, game plan and know what to expect, except for the general idea that you have based on how they went last season. Whereas KAOS have had the advantage of, seeing several games filmed of their opposition here. So maybe they've got some strategies to try and take away some key players or shut down some pool players.
It's definitely one of the downsides of being one of the powerhouse teams, always getting into finals. There's just a lot of footage of you floating around, giving opposition plenty of time to study it, figure out how to beat you.
Oh, nice big two-handed swat by Helen Epstein. Bree picks up, but misfires behind Stetner, and KAOS get the disc back.
KAOS picking up now. Daub has been getting a lot of the disc in this handler position, always looking for the give and go. And they're now a bit jammed on that same sideline that Rogue was the previous point. And I think the same advice applies. Nathan, get it off that line.
I agree. It's sort of easy to push the disc up that sideline, and I think the defense is going to want to keep them on that sideline and just be happy to let them have 1-2 meter passes, because if this if they get a wide swing to this upwind side, the disc is going to float, as we've seen, and that opens up the opportunity for defense to get in, or maybe an error by the catcher.
And things get going again. Still working up this sideline.
So one thing we are going to see from KAOS a lot is this come from behind cut, where you'll have a handler sitting behind the disc, and they'll come. Nice grab. They'll come forwards, up from behind the thrower, and then catch a short pass 1 or 2 meters in front.
And that was a nice goal by O'Callaghan. And that'll take it to 4-3. I'm desperately hoping she gets O'Callaghan at some point in this game. 5-3, apologies. Interesting fact. People talk about having frisbee mums and frisbee dads, the people that introduce them to the game. I'm lucky to have mine in the commentary box right now. One of my frisbee dads.
No worries.
Biggest mistake of my life. Sucked me in. Hasn't let me back out.
The fine Frisbee Institute that is North Sydney Boys High School. It's quite a lot of representatives from that high school.
Yeah. Quite a lot floating around this tournament.
One day we'll put together that high school reunion team. You'll have us two. you got Laddo. You got Mark Evans, Callum Spielman, Rory Connell. Alistair C's here. He's back.
Oh man. Max Howden. I think the Dowls went there as well back in the day, maybe.
Unsure.
Or maybe it was the Shepherds.
Shepherds did.
The Shepherds.
I think PDG as well. I wonder if there's is there like a women's high school equivalent? Because that's quite a lot of people from one.
That is quite a lot of people.
I reckon
that's a pretty scary line out there.
A bunch of these Perth girls would have gone to the same high school, I reckon. How many high schools are there in Perth?
One.
All right, Grinley back with the disc. Again, Rogue moving it just up and down this downwind side. So we got all these veterans behind here. Sarah Wentworth, Lacey Moore, Rachel Grinley, happy to move the disc amongst themselves. So similar sort of strategies on O and D so far we've seen from both teams. Unfortunate drop there by Moore.
Hyun looking to move it quickly, but
Grinley shoots it to Ewan. Can't get there, but that is, I'd say that's one of the most common shots that this Rogue team is going to make. Rachel Grinley to Georgia Ewan. You'll see Georgia hanging around the stack, jogging around, just minding her own business. As soon as Grinley's about to get the disc, she's off to the end zone, waiting for the big backhand fake to flick hook.
Yep, big time handler to big time receiver.
Always.
That's a connection you want to hit. And Nate's not biased at all.
Alrighty, Rogue out here in a person defense, which I like. I think it's the easy option. Look at that, it pays off. It's sometimes the easy option to go straight for the zone defense as soon as... Is that a catch and spike?
That was a very quick spike.
Very quick catch and spike. Sometimes it's pretty easy to just think, oh, it's windy, we'll just set up a zone and get turns that way, which is possible. But when there's a lot of wind, can also be a good move to play some person defense and really pressure those unders, especially when you've got a cutter by themselves out in space without a lot of opportunity for help. Maybe the disc bobbles up and down. Maybe they feel the pressure of someone on their back and can cause mistakes.
Yep, absolutely.
That was a very quick spike.
Yeah,
I was not sure.
We were unsure.
Yeah, I was like, was that a goal?
I caught it and then ran out, so I was like, oh yeah.
And it wasn't a dramatic spike either.
No, it was just a chuck.
There was I rewatched the footage and you can hear people on our sideline being like, "Go not Colin," because it was really quick. It was almost just one.
All right, we're back into it. More of that zone. It's been working well for them so far. Though for the first time, it looks like KAOS have managed to get it to the high side of the field. The wind has dropped down a bit, which might be helping. And they're just moving a lot quicker. Able to never really let the cup set. And eventually finding Ebony Taylor for the goal. That was their best offense so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a lot to say there. Hidden open options, hidden easy options, and rewarded with a goal.
Detailed there.
Oh, really? Probably will.
Back into it. Pull by KAOS. Just over half way. We'll see if Rogue can mimic KAOS' success on zone offense, but a quick turnover. We'll give it back to KAOS. Thank you so much.
Ooh, bobble, but managed to stay in just outside the end zone. Behind.
Dump swing, textbook. Oh. Maybe.
I assume there's a call about up down. I couldn't tell from here.
Yeah, no idea. We did have game advisors in the last game, but they've clearly given up, headed elsewhere. So they'll sort it out themselves, send it back, and keep going. Lansdale on the doorstep, but can't quite complete the pass.
Greenley immediately looking to get to the far side. Wentworth getting up, sends it. Bit of contact there. Debly on the ground. Looks like she's all right.
Uncontested foul.
So threads it through there, gets it to Greenlay, straight to the back of the end zone to, I believe this is Laz. I don't know her full name. Laura Monera, young lady who has moved here. I'm not sure for how long, but she's from Colombia. Almost didn't come to nationals, but managed to make it here in the end, and picks up a goal for herself. So big hello to anyone from Colombia watching.
Back into it. KAOS. Centering to Daub. Daub's been doing a lot of the handler duties so far.
Great shot. Straight up the guts. Continue intercepted by Stedner. Nez to Sophie Hardy. Floaty disc, no one able to get there. So KAOS starting on this this advantageous side, immediately over to the downwind side. Big gainer up the line. Those can be hard to come by in zone, so
I think we've got a slightly different zone look here from Rogue. They've only got a 3-person cup now, giving them a little bit more pressure and defensive pressure downfield.
yeah, forcing that that away shot up the line can be pretty difficult in this this crosswind because you're not going to get any help from the wind. Bree looking to reset,
Floaty. Callahan opportunity. But it goes to ground.
Ooh. Looks like some kind of call there.
Yeah, Jerry Dorr picked up and threw straight away.
I'm gonna assume a foul. So we've got Stenton with a trying to defend 2 players here. Get some help back from Valancourt. Nice jump into the end zone from
Delat. It's a nice goal by KAOS. Keeping it close. Keeping it close. That was the 5-6. It's 5, pretty sure. 5-6. Where are you guys staying? Is it nice?
like 5 minutes away. Some place like
Fishwick got like a ridiculous Airbnb, like 7 beds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's got a pool and lights and everything. And the pool goes up, and Latamatos set to pick it up.
Great pull.
Oh, floaty in the end zone. That's a Callahan! By Jade O'Callahan gets the Callahan!
Wow. You couldn't script this, folks.
That's amazing!
And that goes to show the power of a good pull. You get the disc, get some distance on it, get it down there in that death corner, force the handler to throw a tough upwind pass, and you get rewarded with a Callahan.
Yeah, absolutely. A good pull and some wind like this can make those first passes very difficult if you hustle down hard after it.
So does that bring us to even now?
We are 6 all, 6 apiece.
To them.
I don't think so. Unless I recorded one of their goals for you guys. Oh, the other way around, I mean. One of your guys for them. I've got 6 all. Is it evens? Are you guys happy saying it's evens? Because I've got 6
You want
recorded.
something to say?
You say what you want. I don't know. We're doing it every time.
6 all and 7-5 will be the same.
Carly will know.
I'm pretty sure it's 6 all.
Sarah Hammer picks up the disc, moves it to Bree Edgar. They're on this strong side. So let's see how they work it against this this zone defense.
She's a pretty handy import, Sarah Hammer.
Yeah, she's been living overseas for about a year. Just came back a couple weeks ago, played 1 day of BCI, and now is here at Nationals, and that's all the contact she's had with the team.
Yeah, we have 6 all. I have 6 all. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3.
And a turnover there. And an immediate score for KAOS. 2 quick breaks for them. And Rogue call a timeout.
Yeah, so I have it at 7.6. It can't be evens.
I wasn't here for the start of the game, so.
Probably fucked it up. I'll be real. Okay, 7-all call. I don't know this one and this one. Right. And that's 7-7. Apologies for any confusion there. Galaxy Point, indeed. It's like Universe Point, but not as important. The winner of the next point will take half. Which is a big, like, psychological win, but not really that big a deal, to be honest.
Every point is a big deal.
I'd be curious to know what are the stats for teams that take half. How often do they go on to win the game?
I would assume most of the time. But I think it would change based on like the quality of the team. I think the sign of a good team is to have it, if you have a strong first half, to come out and consolidate that. Can be difficult to do sometimes. It's easy to sort of
take foot off the pedal a bit.
Yeah. You come out, maybe you take half 8-5, and then you're like, oh, we're in a pretty good position. Ease off a bit, and suddenly you find yourself 10-all, and you're like, what's going on here? So I'm sure Carly O'Brien's pulled something out of the playbook for Rogue to go out and execute here.
It's a pretty big playbook. She's got years of experience.
It's a hefty tome.
A hefty tome. Drop some pearls of wisdom on her team for this one. What's your prediction, Nate? What are they going to do?
Look, I got to stick with what I said earlier and go Green Lady Ewan.
Keeping it simple. I like that. I think sometimes we get a little overcomplicated with our set plays.
It's tried and true method for Rogue victory.
Well, Green Lady's picking it up.
Just kind of rolls away from her a bit there. To Wentworth. Short pass.
Wentworth with more experience in her little finger than most of us have in our whole bodies.
Absolutely.
Bit of a legend in women's ultimate and just in ultimate in general.
And there we go. That's the pass they need. No continuation to this far side.
Valancourt getting on the ground to take that one. Nicely done.
Yeah, Grinley wants to just move this wall around with these big fakes. But they don't seem to be having any of it. Grinley gets it back off more. Another big backhand fake. Flip to Wentworth. Wentworth. Not a lot going on here. All right. So she's got more sitting in this inside space. I think it'd be great if she could hit her, but they're happy to just get meters one at a time up the sideline. Some contact there, no call. I like it. Ewan gets the disc. Back to Wentworth. So we've had Grinley and Wentworth with the lion's share of touches at this point. And there's that inside to Ewan. Across to Manescu. Now we're cooking with gas. Easy swing and flip. Grinley gets a score. And Rogue Block take half.
Yeah. Very patient that point. Probably threw 20 or 30 passes in the last 5-10 meters. But the patience pays off. Maybe it's a slight exaggeration. 10 or 15 passes. Either way, well played by them. Good composure.
I can't believe they just threw 749 passes. I've just been told by our stats team here. That's got to be some sort of record.
And that's half time, so we'll take a little break and come back. All right, and we're kicking off the second half with a brick from Sarah Hammer. What a way to begin.
So Rogue, like they're sticking with this junk look.
Yeah? Looks like something junky. Oh, maybe not. Maybe that was a cheeky fake and switch move. Looks like they're just in person.
Easy run through interception for Ewan,
Oh.
and another interception right back, and they boost it.
Champagne Ultimate.
Wild scenes here at the Gold Coast for 2017 Australian Ultimate Championships. They're calling this the No Bin Nationals because there are no bins. Hammer with the disc, wants to get it off this sideline, has to go up line. Sarah Wentworth lays out, manages to maintain control of the disc, immediately sends it to Moore, who swings it around to this far side.
Oh, great grab in the pack.
Hammer's got it in the center. Shoots flick. Wentworth.
Oh!
Oh. Nice bit there from Brie Edgar. Can't hang on to the disc. KAOS walking it up on this strong side. So I like this person look. Rogue forcing backhand, and in two passes they immediately got KAOS in this death corner exactly where they want them, and there's your turnover.
Cold drop there, unfortunately. We'll give KAOS another chance at this one.
KAOS again go to that corner.
Yeah, the dump defender poaching off into the lane, making that dump option look really good and open, but it's exactly what they want them
And
to
Hammer
take.
shoots to Wentworth. So a break for Rogue at a half. Consolidate that offensive hold they had at the end of half, and they go up 9-7.
And that was going against the wind as well, which is all the more impressive. Yeah. It's been pretty consistent. I believe a bit of rain was forecast for today, but right now, clouds are going away. Got a big blue sky. It's a lovely day. Saw some of the Kiwis earlier walking around topless, clearly enjoying their first exposure to the sun this year.
Yeah, they love it.
Have you had a chance yet to see the New Zealand men play, mate?
No, I have not seen either of the New Zealand teams play so far. But I'm interested to see how they go. The New Zealand women's team ended up in the semi-finals. I think came fourth last year.
Yeah, and they did well this morning as well, getting up over Zig Theory. Strong showing there.
Yeah, similar sort of story to KAOS, where you don't really know what you're going to get until you show up at nationals and suddenly you're playing them.
Yeah, they had a lot of really strong throwers this morning. Not fazed by the wind at all. If you want to see that game, it'll be on YouTube. Check it out. Murray Young shoots deep.
Great shot. Some much stronger movement here from KAOS. This is good.
Ooh.
Yeah, a very wobbly forehand.
And Perkins
Probably not what she wanted.
happy to eat that one up.
So Rogue immediately move it to this sideline. Greenlee back with the disc, and then back in the corner.
Opportunity for KAOS here on the
zinger.
doorstep.
Is that a D from Deb?
Was a D from Deb.
Deb Lee. Looks like she got a hand on that disc. Low pass scooped up by Laura Minescu. Fantastic work to break the mark there and get the disc onto this sideline. So I think both these teams are going to see success if they can continue to do that. It's a tough throw, breaking the mark against the wind. Viv Stetner airs it out. She's got Perkins in space. Ellie Murray-Young immediately catches up, but can't make the play. And Perkins with a bit of an overthrow to Munez.
Yeah, rules. Oh,
Munera, my mistake. Nice D there by Viv Stetner. Greenlee hustles to the disc and boosts it. She's got Minescu and Perkins in space.
What a grab. The KAOS defender there.
Perkins, yeah, eats a bit of contact, but managed to keep her arm up and hang on to the disc.
I'm not sure what the call would be here. The KAOS defender was fouled by the offensive players, which seems somewhat unlikely. From my perspective, of course, which is a good 35 metres away.
Nice call. It's awarded a goal. Great play there by Perkins.
I think that's probably the right call there. The KAOS player made a great bid to get involved and to be a threat. But Rogue, too strong.
Yeah, because they scored. They had one break.
And that's 10-7 to Rogue, getting 2 quick ones out of half.
2 breaks.
Rogue's staying in this person look. Now, what's the rule here, Nate? Does that stand as a turnover?
I think that it should.
I think so too.
But I think the rules should be harsher than they are on those sorts of situations.
Yeah. The defense was impeded by the pick.
Yeah, I think if
it
you're...
didn't look like the offensive player slowed down much, if at all.
It depends on when the pick was called. If it was in the air, then the play stands.
There you go. I think she's saying that the pick call had no effect on the play. She didn't hear it, and she still couldn't get there. Therefore, the turnover will stand in the end zone.
Correct outcome.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's good to see.
Yeah, the pick rule is an interesting one. I'd like to see it evolve a bit over the next few iterations of the rules. Rogue Huck cleaned up by KAOS there.
Yeah, Lansdale getting a good read on it. Able to intercept it. And then shoots. But one too many wheatbacks this morning for breakfast. It's out the back. Immediate response by Rogue. Though Lansdale showing off her pace.
Yeah,
just
great
chases it down.
great positioning there to bring down that disc.
Yeah.
Up.
Struggling to get it off. Eventually gets the
Yeah, nice
round done.
nice break. KAOS working back down the open side.
Big fat side forehand. Which is often a pretty good look, but not able to complete there.
Yeah, a little high there. Wind helping to keep that disc up in the air maybe a little longer than KAOS would have liked. Bree shoots up the line. Hardy can't quite get there. KAOS pick up the disc. Nice inside break. Looks like we've got a foul on the mark.
Having a bit of chat about if they're going to contest or not.
I like that look though, forcing yourself to make the harder break pass to keep the disc on the advantageous side.
Lasers a backhand, but it looks like another foul call on the throw. Starting to get a few calls. Little chippy maybe. It looks like it'll be contested.
All right, Rogue back with the disc. Edgar to Nez. Out to Georgia Ewan. No one in that space.
Oh, great grab. Saves it. Keeps the disc alive.
Ruiz is calling that disc down. And they're now just retracting the call and taking the turnover they got further down the field. Ewan to Hammer.
Hammer clearly looking at the end zone.
Hammer moving the mark around. Puts up a flick. KAOS player standing right where the disc was going to go.
Yeah.
Good positioning.
And Taylor's got a bit of a size advantage.
So there's that
core anyway, which made that extra easy.
Edgar airs it out. Wentworth, easy club catch. That is another break for Rogue.
Yeah, Rogue come out of half. Really strong. That's 4 in a row.
Yeah, so it looks like whatever adjustments they made, which was maybe Maybe even just, hey,
Oh, sorry.
let's go guts out here. It's working for them.
Yeah, absolutely. They're sticking to that person-on-person defense. It's paying dividends for them.
Yeah, the backhand force, forcing KAOS to that weak side, letting them throw those up the line passes, and those long ones are getting pushed away and down by the wind.
When's your next game? Excellent. Great. Oh, Lacey Moore, run through block. Doing what she does best. Giving Rogue maybe 15 metres here to the end zone. Stetner reaches immediately, but I think a little too far beyond her intended receiver, Munera.
So KAOS is set up here. I'd like to see them give themselves a bit more of a lane on the break side to work with. And Rogue immediately get the disc back. Stenner just whips that forehand fake.
Oh, the wind really starting to affect some throws here. So you can see a lot of stuff turning over.
Yeah, it was
quite bladey.
a lucky save on that first pass.
And for those of you out there that have played uni games, this is where it's often held. Australian uni games every second year. It's held at this fields, and people would know that it's known for being continuously windy. So expect more of this over the next few days.
So KAOS in a pretty good position here defensively. Rogue managed to get the disc out. And so I'd like to see them keep this backhand force. Push Rogue to that side, but they send it. No one there. Rogue perhaps happy to take the meters. It's another bit of a soft turn there, unfortunately. A nice sliding grab by Moore. I tell you what, those flick fakes of Viv Stetner are rough. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm going to have to leave you now and go warm up for my game. Yeah, go Rogue. If you couldn't tell, I'm in the pro Rogue camp.
Thanks, Nate. Thanks for joining me in the commentary booth. We'll be Hoping to get a few more guest commentators throughout the next few days. It's always good to have some inside knowledge, some other perspectives, other opinions on what's going on. Nate's a real student of the game, so it's great to have him on board, even briefly. And Rogue building their lead. 5-point buffer now. Their next challenge will be to maintain this intensity, keep the keep the foot to the floor, pedal to the metal, right the way through this game, and close it out. Big pull from Hammer. Rogue persisting with the backhand force. Great top defense by Hammer. Forces a pretty speculative shot. Out of Finch. Looks like we may have had a pit call before that. A lot of people were stationary downfield. There'll be a bit of discussion about what happens from here. Times like these when you wish you were playing in America, I think. But looks like we've got a resolution. Play will stand. And KAOS will pick up. Rogue sticking with this backhand force, making KAOS play along the downwind side of the field. Edgar with the heads up interception there of the wayward disc. Quick response. Wentworth reaches, but throw doesn't come out quite as planned, a little short. And that'll be a turn. Door brings it back in. Nice break inside. Huge forehand. Look. Wentworth making up the ground. But Webb, I think she's calling that she got it and then had it bumped out of her hands by Wentworth. A strip. It's very close. There's a little bit of hip and shoulder though. In my mind, that would have fallen within the incidental contact. And it looks like it will be sent back pretty quickly. Wentworth adamant that she got the block. KAOS arguing it was in her hand. Shiny Webb from KAOS. Doing a good job there to contest that. And we're back in. Slightly wayward pass. Can't make the catch. Hammer's streaming deep while people keep chatting. Conversation length that has gone with every call is slowly increasing throughout the game. Though I think that's quite often the case, as the stakes feel like they're getting higher the closer you are to the end of the game. Though all in all, it's been very spirited. And we're back in. Lansdale immediately looking, but Wentworth able to just get a touch on it and push it beyond the reach of the receiver. And now we've got an injury from Rogue. Doesn't look good. Limping. Unsure what exactly the injury is, but play will continue. Hammer walks up with the disc, probably hoping looks deep, gets ripped down. And they move it quickly now. Up the sideline, looking for the around back to Wentworth. Wentworth gets horizontal, but can't quite hold on to it. Escapes her. Eventually find Daub for the reset. Get that count back to 0. Get yourself another 10 seconds. Smith finds Webb. Finds O'Callaghan for the goal. Couple of nice passes there, a bit of good flow. Oh, apologies, we've got another call. Perhaps a travel on that last pass called by Wentworth. And we'll go again. It's all jammed up. And they get the block. Just cramming it into the cram hole one too many times, I think. Hammer runs up, immediately fakes a huge forehand, but holds on to it. Swings to Wentworth. Swings again. Bobbles out of the hands. And KAOS quick to pounce. Find Lansdale in the end zone. But we've got another call. Of course we do. Unsure exactly what the call is, but the goal does stand eventually, and that's KAOS getting their 8th point on the board. Rogue will have to respond. The call from Grinley on the line there was, let's just lock it in. Back to basics, get the little things right. I think it's never about approach. And Stetner's pass, a little too far in front, maybe a little rushed. And KAOS has it again. And another turn. Conditions obviously leading to plenty of turnovers this game and throughout the day really, but the results of these battles are really decided by which team can adapt to the conditions the best, play smart in them, recognize what their skills allow them to do in these conditions, and maximize those advantages where they exist. And we get a foul call on the throw. Oh, great hands by Murray Young. She gets it again. We got a pick call. It'll stay with Murray Young, but it looks like Hewan will catch up to Perkins. Murray Young can't find anything she likes. Eventually throws a bladey forehand into a crowd. Doesn't work out. Rarely does. And a Rogue gets it back. Get another shot. They're going to have to take it the full field length if they want to put this in. Manescu popping. Eventually gets it. The Rogue handlers find a way through to Monera. Now they're looking to move it quickly before the cup can reset, but Gridley holds it up. Wants to slow things down a bit. Bit of body contact there, and they'll play through it. And Perkins shoots. Great vision and great skill. That's not an easy throw in this wind. Crossfield, high release backhand over the cup. And she hits Deborah Lee for the goal. It's nicely done. On the doorstep now for Rogue. Only a couple points away. And we're also rapidly approaching time cap. And here we go. Hammer with the pull. Daub. Back to DeLuca. The stack is sliding very close to that sideline, making it a small channel to throw into, but they get the nice swing off to the break side. And when they do, you can see how easy it is to make those upfield passes and get the goal. KAOS get another on the board. That's 13-9. And that was the horn, which means time cap has hit. We're going to finish this point, add 1 to the higher score, and play to that. So if Rogue are able to punch this one in, it'll be game to 15. If KAOS are able to get it, it'll be game to 14. Edgar will start play from the front corner. Coffin corner. Grinley puts a body on the line to save it, keep it alive, and then immediately launches deep. And that's a great grab. Going up strong. Deborah Lee takes contact, plays through it, and rips one down. Really going upstairs on that one. That's a great play by Lee. And that means it's game to 15. Normal points cap applies. We'll see if KAOS does anything special here. If it's business as usual for Rogue, how they approach the last point of the game. I think for Rogue, it's business as usual. Try and keep doing what you've been doing, what's bringing you success so far. And generally that's been taking advantage of their depth across the roster. And then playing some really quality person defense, especially in this second half. I think they've played only person defense. Backhand, keeping KAOS locked on that downwind sideline. And going a little bit back hip on the mark. And KAOS have found it very difficult to get the swing off. We've seen how devastating it is when they do. So it's a bit of a high risk, high reward strategy in that sense. But when it works, it works. Great hustle down by Rogue. Perkins. Good defense. Great dump defense there on a couple of different cuts, eventually forcing the speculative Blady forehand, playing more for meters in the end. Bit of a miscue there. And Rogue give it back. And they immediately reach deep, though that looks like it'll be out the sideline. And they bring it in. Stetner with the disc. Swinging for Wentworth. Wind gets under it. It's going to float. A lot of people going up in the pack. But goes to turf. No joy. Qua with it. Stetner, nice interception. And what a way to finish it, ladies and gentlemen. A big layout grab. Very nicely done. Rogue will take that one. 15-9. That's down in the record books. It's locked in. Carve it in stone. Rogue block 15. Perth KAOS 9. We'll take a bit of a break and come back. Stay tuned. This afternoon's got a bunch more great games. Really high quality ultimate to be seen. I encourage you all to check it out on this stream and the other one. Coming to you live from the Australian Ultimate Championships in Runaway Bay.